Okay, let's go do a real... I'm going to go through a few things here that I've gone through and some new stuff. This is the UN prayer room. Notice that we see a big black cube. We notice the shadow that the black cube creates is a doorway with a light behind it. If you look at what's on the floor, if you look in the back, those are the crystals. Okay, that's the crystalline shape that is in Tartarus. Okay, so this black block represents Saturn. It creates a door with a light behind it. Okay, that's in the UN prayer room. Okay, if you read this, this is in the Capitol building, in a window above a statue of George Washington. Let's take a look at that. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Interesting. So here we have the seal of Saturn. We have the pyramid, and then we got the eye with the light around it, which is really a circle with a triangle, which represents Saturn. I've shown it to you guys a million times. It says, "This nation under God." What God are we talking about? Is this Masonic? Let's see. The Holy Bible, Masonic edition. Wow, how about that? And if you do your reading, you'll find out that King James was a Mason, which means he was into alchemy. Say it ain't so. And maybe that's why they call it the King James Authorized Version, because they put in it what they wanted you to know. It doesn't delineate from the fact of Jesus Christ. So Christians, don't get all uppity. Just start using your head about who's really running the show here. Goofy bastards. This is the picture of the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. I think it's from the their Catholic version or whatever. But let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at what's at the top, and let's see what's at the bottom. If we look, see that little symbol right there at the top? That would be God. Okay, that's what they call God. That symbol is a symbol of Saturn. And so that little one at the bottom is the moon. So it goes Saturn, the moon, the earth, and it all runs through the center of all three of them, right into those crystals in the middle of the earth. Okay, you see this? What is a double-headed eagle? It is the double-headed axe of Phoenicia. It cuts both ways. You see the three on the handle of the sword. The three represents Saturn. Okay, ruling by death. Okay, this is a double-headed axe of Phoenicia. Because of the Phoenicians are the ones that are tied directly to the abyss. They're the ones that set up the banking system. They're the ones that did everything. So their symbol is the one that rules throughout. They just change it to keep hiding it. The Romans used it as a Roman fasci. The Masons used it as a double-headed eagle. Many countries use a double-headed eagle. This is what it is, and I'm going to do an overlay and show you. Okay, so if we look, if I take that axe and I overlay it, you can see where it goes square down the middle. The wings are represented by the two axe blades, or vice versa. Now you got two heads coming off here, right? You got two heads, and you only have 2 feet. Why is that? Because you can't have 4 feet, because it'll mess up the other design that's in here. So they have 2 heads, but only 2 feet. Well, technically it should have 4 heads, but the bottom line is that's where you get the crossing of the X. So you get the wings from the axe, the center point is the handle, and the crossing of the heads with opposite feet creates the Phoenician X, or the seal, or the letter of Saturn. Okay, so we look here. This is taken from an old religious book I found. It's called Reverend Humbert, number 3, Old Time Religion, Angels. Really? Because that looks kind of like the same thing. And it's number 3. Gee whiz, isn't that the same number 3 that was on the handle? And that's, let's see, Saturn is number 3. I think, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. So then we know that this, right here, is the double-headed axe of Phoenicia, right? The sword is the rule by the sword, kill die by the sword, murdered by the sword. The triangle, this light is really a circle. That symbol represents Saturn. And I'll bring that up again. I'll show it to you. Oh, and it's in purple. Okay, so that triangle with the light coming out of it that you see all the time that they call the Illuminati, it's really a circle. They just disguised it. It's a circle. It's a triangle with a circle. If you read at the bottom, it'll tell you what it is. And so that whole picture right there is a double-headed axe of Phoenicia. It's got the X. It's got the triangle with the circle, which represents Saturn. It's all Saturnalian. It's what runs this planet. Oh yeah, I forgot to give you the what's entailed in this Masonic Holy Bible. Let's take a look. Gee whiz, it seems to have a lot of the same things that the King James Bible does. Maybe that's because King James was a Mason. I don't care about the Masons, man. They're going to do whatever they want to. And I've never been messed over by them. You know, I've had to deal with them in business, and they've always been very upright, standing businessmen. So come on. Would you guys stop it with all this holy roller bullshit and start facing the fact of who's running this planet? Now, you know, what's interesting is when I was looking for a picture of the double-headed axe of Phoenicia, it's funny how things come together because sometimes you find things that you're not even looking for. This is Barbarian Rebellion's page. Now, frankly, I don't like the fucking guy and he don't like me. But I'm going to show you something that occurred to me and now it makes sense. It makes more sense. See this picture up here in the corner of this woman? Here, let me blow that up. And I can never understand why he would have a picture of a woman that was dressed up like a warrior. I mean, it just didn't fit him. I mean, he seems like a charismatic kind of guy in his own way. Why would you be using a broad? I mean, I don't get it. Now I get it because all the years of study. Look here. This is a warrior goddess, Scat. I can't even pronounce the name. But that's what that broad is on his page. And that has to do with something called the cycle of Urich or something along those lines. Well, the cycle immediately, if you track this down, it all goes back to the same thing. It's Celtic, it's Druidic, it's Masonic. Okay? Okay, so then I go look at his page and look what he's got here. It says about you, Cube, stifle yourself. Stifle just means be quiet. And he says the new channel design should be drawn and quartered. Remember the video I just did? Should be drawn and quartered. That's a very, very odd thing to be saying in today's times. Let's see where I've seen that before. So it says here, you better take my picture down or I'm going to have you drawn and quartered. So I guess Eric thinks that I'm a gigantic fag. Well, right back at you, Slick. You fuckers should have left me alone a year ago instead of tearing my fucking page down. You did this to yourself, motherfuckers. You know who you are, you cunts, and that fucking pork rind looking bitch, Queenie. Well, as long as I'm bitching, here's old David Icke with his lovey-dovey. See how he's got his fingers split? He's making a pyramid. And it's got the X in the middle between his fingers. Oh, look at this old lady. Yeah, giving up the 3 6s. Yeah. Ooh, boy, you guys are slick. I never would have caught that in a million years. Maybe if I was fucking blind. Why didn't you douchebags just leave me alone? I mean, what'd you fucking tear my page down for? I wasn't going to bother any of you guys. I was just fucking doing my own thing. You guys came after me. Now you're telling me the Nazis are involved with Venus and all this bullshit. You calling me names and all kinds of stuff. Here, have at it, motherfucker. One of you idiots said I was a low-level initiate. Initiate of what, a-hole? I believe in Jesus Christ. Obviously, you don't. Okay? I don't care what you believe in. It don't matter to me. Believe in what you want, but don't fucking lie to other people and make them think something that ain't true. You should have just left me the fuck alone, you dumbasses.